You finally have a signed contract, but your closing date isn't as set in stone as you might think. Here's what every New York buyer and seller needs to know before it's too late. First, let's talk about what people don't realize is happening in a standard New York contract. It typically contains an on or about 60-day closing date, which is from contract to closing. That means the day both parties sign, the average transaction is going to take 60 to 90 days to get to a closing table, especially if there's a mortgage contingency involved. If title's clear, the lender's ready to go, we can certainly close faster, and we oftentimes do. But that's not the norm, so you need to plan for the 60 to 90-day closing. And here's what makes that window even more fluid. On or about is not a firm date. It gives the buyer and the seller up to 30 additional days beyond that contract date before either party is contractually obligated to close. Delays happen. On the seller side, it might be a title issue. On the buyer side, often the lender needs additional paperwork. Now here's where it gets tricky for buyers. When you lock in that interest rate, the lock has an expiration date, usually 30 to 60 days. If your rate lock expires before the seller is legally obligated to close, you may be forced to extend it, and of course, that extension costs money. Or worse, you could lock in at a higher rate. Your seller has no obligation to accommodate your rate lock timeline. And sellers don't think you're off the hook. If you're selling here in New York and buying somewhere else, especially out of state, the stakes may be even higher. Your New York buyer's timeline and your new purchase, those closing dates may not line up. And if your New York sale doesn't close in time for you to fund your purchase, you could be forced to walk away from your new home or even possibly risk your down payment. That's why everyone at the table, buyers, sellers, and all parties to the transaction need to understand the timeline is fluid from day one in a New York transaction. Before you sign, know your timelines. We don't just help you understand them. We work to negotiate solutions that give you more clarity and lower your risk before you're ever put in a difficult position. Please give us a call. We're here to help you and protect you every step of the way.